Hey Cowboys Nation, welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analysis, rumors to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. Ezekiel Elliott has finally broken his silence, and the football world is buzzing with the explosive comments he directed at the Dallas Cowboys organization. For years, Elliott had been the face of the Cowboys offense, carrying the team on his back with powerful runs and undeniable talent. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered, and now, with his recent statements, those tensions have exploded into the open. Elliott didn't hold back as he openly criticized both the front office and many of his former teammates, accusing the Cowboys of mismanagement and lack of commitment. This is not just another disgruntled player complaint. Ezekiel's words carry the weight of a veteran star who knows the ins and outs of the franchise. The impact of his accusations is massive, given his status as one of the most productive running backs in recent Cowboys history. Fans and analysts alike are trying to digest the fallout, wondering if this is a turning point for the Cowboys' locker room culture or a sign of deeper fractures within the team. Elliott's candidness is rare in the tightly controlled world of NFL PR, making this a defining moment in the Cowboys' narrative. It's clear this is more than just football. It's about leadership, loyalty, and accountability. Ezekiel Elliott's comments revealed a level of frustration that had clearly been building over multiple seasons. He expressed disappointment not only in the management's decisions, but also in the attitude and performance of certain players. According to Elliott, the lack of cohesion and accountability in the locker room was a major factor in the team's inconsistent performance on the field. He didn't mince words, highlighting how the front office failed to support the players properly. From contract negotiations to strategic planning, Elliott's critique wasn't just about losing games, it was about the overall direction and vision of the Cowboys as an organization. He implied that the team's leadership had lost its way, prioritizing short-term gains over long-term success and failing to foster a winning mentality among players. This is a significant claim coming from someone who has been deeply invested in the Cowboys' fortunes, showing just how far apart the player and management visions have grown. Elliott's candid revelations could force a reckoning within the shame franchise as fans demand answers and improvements at every level. His outspoken stance sets a precedent for players to voice their concerns more openly in the future. One of the most striking aspects of Elliott's remarks was his focus on the Cowboys' locker room dynamics. He painted a picture of a fractured group where individual interests often took precedence over team goals. This environment, Elliott argued, stifled growth and chemistry, which are crucial for any team aiming for championships. He pointed to a lack of leadership among the players themselves, suggesting that some veterans failed to step up and set the right example. This absence of strong player leadership compounded the frustration stemming from the management's questionable decisions. Elliott's honesty here shines a light on a common issue in sports teams. When the locker room culture deteriorates, performance inevitably suffers. His critique underscores that building a winning team is not just about talent on paper, but about cultivating a united mindset and shared purpose. Elliott's insight, coming from an insider, resonates deeply because it reflects issues often hidden behind closed doors. For the Cowboys, this could mean reassessing not only who they sign, but how they nurture leadership and accountability within their ranks. This is a wake-up call that goes beyond just one player's perspective. Ezekiel Elliott also took aim at the Cowboys coaching staff, expressing his doubts about their ability to adapt and motivate the team effectively. He suggested that the coaches lacked the vision and flexibility necessary to maximize the team's potential. Elliott's frustration with coaching strategies wasn't just about play calling, but about the overall approach to player development and game management. He hinted that outdated methods and rigid systems contributed to the team's stagnation, leaving talented players underutilized or misused. This critique is particularly potent because it comes from a player who was central to the Cowboys offense and who had to operate within that system daily. Elliott's comments could spark debates about the coaching philosophy and whether new leadership is needed to revitalize the team's prospects. The coaching staff's response to these allegations will be critical, as dismissing them outright might deepen divisions. Conversely, acknowledging and addressing these concerns could help foster a culture of growth and trust. Elliott's candidness challenges the Cowboys to reflect deeply on how they run their team and whether changes are overdue at every level, from the front office to the sidelines. In the broader context, Ezekiel Elliott's revelations highlight the complex relationship between star players and NFL franchises. Stars like Elliott carry enormous expectations, not only to perform, but to be leaders and role models. When those expectations aren't met due to organizational failures, tensions flare and trust erodes. Elliott's breaking point reveals how even high-profile athletes can feel powerless when they perceive that those in charge lack the competence or commitment to build a winning team. This situation exemplifies the delicate balance franchises must maintain, supporting players while maintaining control and vision. Elliott's willingness to speak out publicly breaks the usual code of silence in the league, signaling that players may increasingly demand transparency and accountability from their teams. His critique could inspire other players to share their own frustrations, potentially reshaping how NFL organizations handle internal conflicts. For the Cowboys, known for their star-studded history, this episode is a sobering reminder that reputation alone isn't enough. Sustainable success requires alignment, trust, and a shared sense of purpose, something Elliott clearly feels has been lacking. The timing of Elliott's statements is also notable, coming at a moment when the Cowboys are under pressure to prove their championship viability. Fans have been hungry for a deep playoff run, and management has made moves signaling a desire to compete at the highest level. Elliott's criticism suggests that behind the scenes, that vision might be more fragmented than publicly acknowledged. His words expose the gulf between the hopeful narratives spun by PR and the harsher realities within the team. This gap creates uncertainty about the Cowboys' future, especially as they prepare for upcoming seasons with new drafts, trades, and contract negotiations. Elliott's message serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of complacency and internal discord. It reminds everyone that talent alone won't guarantee success if the organizational culture is broken. The Cowboys now face the challenge of bridging this divide, restoring trust, and rebuilding a team culture that can sustain both on-field success and off-field unity. Elliott's voice, once silent, is now a loud call for transformation. Fans and analysts have been dissecting Elliott's words, trying to gauge their impact on the Cowboys' image and morale. Some see his candidness as a brave move that could spark positive change by forcing transparency and accountability. Others worry it might deepen divisions and distract from the team's focus. Regardless of opinion, there's no denying that Elliott's honesty has shaken the foundation of the franchise. The Cowboys, known for their high expectations and passionate fan base, now face intense scrutiny about their leadership and player relations. This scrutiny could either push the organization toward much-needed reforms or deepen existing rifts if mishandled. Elliott's position as a former star player lends credibility to his critique, making it harder for the team to dismiss his comments as mere grievances. This situation adds a new layer to the Cowboys' story, reminding everyone that success in professional sports requires not just skill, but harmony and mutual respect. Elliott's bold step could mark the beginning of a new chapter, one defined by hard truths and potential rebuilding. Looking ahead, the Cowboys' response to Ezekiel Elliott's allegations will be critical. How the front office and coaching staff address these concerns could shape the team's trajectory for years to come. Will they acknowledge the issues and commit to meaningful change, or will they attempt to silence dissent and maintain the status quo? Elliott's statements have already put the organization on the defensive, and their next moves will be scrutinized by fans, media, and players alike. This moment offers an opportunity for the Cowboys to demonstrate accountability and transparency, qualities essential for long-term success. Conversely, ignoring or downplaying these issues could lead to further unrest and underperformance. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Beyond the immediate shockwaves of Ezekiel Elliott's critique, his words also resonate deeply within the broader NFL landscape, reflecting a growing trend of players demanding more respect and influence within their franchises. Elliott's bold stance exemplifies how athletes today are no longer willing to silently endure what they perceive as mismanagement or disrespect. This shift is partly fueled by increased player empowerment and social media platforms, which give athletes a louder voice to express dissatisfaction. Elliott's outspoken nature challenges the traditional power dynamics in professional sports, where front offices and coaches have historically held tight control over the narrative. By publicly condemning the Cowboys' leadership and player culture, Elliott is shining a spotlight on systemic issues that may be present in other teams as well. His actions might encourage fellow players to speak out against poor leadership or toxic environments, potentially leading to a new era of openness and player-driven accountability. This evolution could redefine how teams operate internally, prioritizing transparency and respect to retain talent and maintain competitive edge. Elliott's comments are thus significant not only for the Cowboys, but for the NFL as a whole, signaling a cultural shift that could have lasting repercussions across the league. Elliott's critique also raises important questions about the role of team culture in achieving sustained success in the NFL. Football, while highly strategic and physical, relies heavily on trust and cohesion within the locker room. Elliott's depiction of fractured relationships and lack of leadership suggests that the Cowboys may have overlooked these critical components in favor of assembling talent on paper. His frustration highlights a common pitfall for teams that focus too much on individual star power without building a unified, purpose-driven group. The Cowboys' struggles, as Elliott describes, stem not only from questionable management decisions, but from an environment that fails to inspire collective effort and resilience. This insight could lead NFL franchises to reassess how they cultivate culture, emphasizing emotional intelligence, leadership development, and open communication as much as physical preparation. Elliott's perspective, grounded in his firsthand experience, serves as a reminder that winning teams are as much about character and connection as about skill. The Cowboys now face the challenge of repairing their culture if they want to translate talent into championships. Furthermore, Ezekiel Elliott's criticisms expose the complex pressures faced by star players within high-profile franchises. As one of the league's top running backs, Elliott was expected to perform at an elite level while also serving as a leader and representative of the team. His dissatisfaction with the Cowboys' direction illustrates how difficult it can be for stars to balance these roles, especially when organizational support is lacking. Elliott's decision to speak out suggests a breaking point where frustration over unmet expectations and mismanagement became too great to ignore. This highlights the emotional and mental toll that comes with being a franchise cornerstone in a high-pressure environment. Elliott's situation sheds light on the importance of mental health and well-being for athletes, who must navigate not only physical demands, but also complex interpersonal and organizational challenges. His candidness could pave the way for more open conversations about player welfare and the need for supportive leadership. Understanding these pressures is crucial for teams aiming to create environments where stars can thrive both on and off the field. The coaching staff's role in this saga cannot be underestimated, as Elliott's comments point to significant shortcomings in leadership and adaptability. His critique implies that coaches failed to provide the guidance, motivation, and strategic innovation necessary to harness the team's potential. This raises broader issues about coaching philosophies in the NFL and the need for continuous evolution in a rapidly changing sport. Elliott's experience suggests that coaching staffs must not only develop effective game plans, but also foster strong relationships with players, encouraging growth and resilience. The Cowboys leadership might need to rethink how they evaluate and support their coaches, ensuring they align with modern approaches that emphasize flexibility and player engagement. Elliott's remarks could serve as a catalyst for coaching changes or shifts in training methods within the franchise. More broadly, his story underscores the evolving demands on NFL coaches to be more than tacticians, to be mentors and culture builders who can inspire their teams to reach their highest potential. Another dimension revealed by Elliott's statements is the challenge of communication within the Cowboys organization. His complaints about the disconnect between management, coaches, and players point to a breakdown in dialogue that undermines trust and collaboration. Effective communication is the foundation of any successful team, enabling alignment of goals and swift resolution of conflicts. Elliott's experience highlights how communication failures can lead to misunderstanding, resentment, and a toxic environment. For the Cowboys, improving communication channels, whether through leadership retreats, player forums, or enhanced transparency, could be key to healing divisions. Elliott's outspoken approach might encourage others to voice concerns, prompting the organization to listen more attentively and act decisively. This episode emphasizes that success is not just about decisions made in boardrooms or on the sidelines, but also about creating a culture where voices are heard and respected. The Cowboys must prioritize communication to rebuild trust and foster a collaborative atmosphere essential for winning football. Ezekiel Elliott's public criticism also brings to light the delicate balance between player loyalty and professional honesty. Players often face intense pressure to support their teams publicly, maintaining a unified front despite internal struggles. Elliott's choice to speak openly against his former team breaks this unspoken rule, demonstrating a commitment to truth over politeness. This decision could be seen as risky, potentially alienating him from future opportunities or damaging relationships. However, it also reflects a growing trend where players prioritize authenticity and accountability. Elliott's willingness to air grievances publicly suggests that genuine progress requires confronting uncomfortable realities rather than masking them. This bold stance might inspire players and organizations alike to embrace more honest dialogue, even when it challenges existing power structures. The Cowboys, in turn, must decide how to respond, whether by dismissing Elliott's words or using them as a foundation for meaningful reform. This moment underscores the evolving dynamics of player-team relationships in modern professional sports. Looking at the fan base, Elliott's revelations have sparked diverse reactions, highlighting the emotional investment supporters have in the Cowboys. Some fans applaud Elliott's courage for speaking out and demand that the franchise address the issues he raised. Others feel conflicted, torn between loyalty to the team and discomfort with the negative spotlight. This polarization reflects the deep connection fans have with their team's identity and success. Elliott's comments serve as a mirror, forcing fans to confront uncomfortable truths about their beloved franchise. The dialogue spurred by his words could lead to increased pressure on ownership and management to implement changes that satisfy fans' desire for transparency and winning football. Moreover, it reminds the Cowboys that fan engagement goes beyond the scoreboard. It's about integrity, culture, and shared values. Elliott's impact thus extends beyond the locker room, influencing how the Cowboys connect with their passionate and sometimes demanding supporters. Finally, the long-term implications of Ezekiel Elliott's outspokenness remain to be seen. But one thing is clear, his voice has shifted the narrative around the Dallas Cowboys. By publicly challenging the team's leadership and culture, Elliott has opened the door for greater scrutiny and potential transformation. Whether this leads to internal reform, changes in personnel, or a complete cultural overhaul, the Cowboys can no longer operate under the guise of unity while hiding discord. Elliott's words have ignited a conversation that may ultimately strengthen the franchise by forcing it to confront and correct its weaknesses. However, it also places responsibility on the Cowboys to respond thoughtfully and constructively. For Elliott, this moment solidifies his legacy not just as a talented running back, but as a candid truth teller willing to risk controversy for the sake of his team's future. As this story unfolds, it will serve as a powerful case study in the complexities of modern professional sports, leadership, and player empowerment. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.